lurking out there in the shadows. When you're bored at work, perhaps listen to DeepSpace and Dragons. I'm Richard.
And I am super sneaky Karl.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking ninjas. But before we get into that, Karl, how goes the world in the Karlverse? I had a fan ask if you've exploded recently. So...
If I'd exploded?
Yeah.
The dust explosion drowning hasn't happened yet. I'm not exactly sure. Is the idea that I'm going to die in a dust explosion while in like a bathtub or something, and the bathtub will boil me alive? Well, I don't know. That sounds terrible. That's awful.
So the vision in my brain right now is the guy from Naruto who has the dust style, where a giant energy cube hits you and turns you to dust, and then that dust gets scattered into the water. It's like you survive being hit and turned to dust, reform, and then drowned.
But no, things are going pretty good. It's still pretty nice here in Saskatchewan for September. It's sunny, hasn't snowed yet, so
most places in the world, September is still considered summer, and I tell people out here, it's like, yeah, summer's over, it's September. It's like, no, we got like 2 more months of summer heat. I'm like, oh yeah, right, we don't live in a hellscape.
Not a whole lot super exciting has happened since I got back from Calgary. I guess this Tuesday, I'm going out to a fancy restaurant to celebrate 6 months of dating my girlfriend, so that's pretty exciting, I guess.
That is fantastic. That is like, what, 2 Avatar books worth of dating? Which is pretty solid as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's definitely been. She's super helpful and fun to hang around with. And actually, I bought some new board games to play with her. I watched a YouTube video on it was actually some Canadian content creators. They live in like Halifax, and I was like, what's the best 2-player board games? And so then they had a list of their favorite 2-player board games, and the 2 that stood out was one called Dice Throne, which is basically Battle Yahtzee.
That sounds weirdly familiar. Like, I've seen it, but I never dived into it.
There is some level of strategy, but like I say, at its core, it is Battle Yahtzee. So if you don't get the best rolls and whatnot, then it's pretty chaotic, I guess.
Fair enough.
And then the other one is a 2-player trick-taking game, which you might think doesn't sound like it would really work, but is surprisingly compelling. It's called The Fox in the Forest.
The naming is adorable, considering I live on a fox-named street, as I don't give out my current address on a podcast. Because that would be dumb.
Your street is fox named. That is fair.
Because foxes are fantastic, and I'm told that Eevees are foxes.
They kind of look fox-like, I suppose. They don't really have the canine snout, though.
But yeah. So you got your battle card games, you're happy, you're in love, you still have summer going. Life sounds to be going pretty Karl. With a weird lack of explosions and chaos. Like, no one's wandered shirtless to you on a train shack in months.
So what's new with you there, Richard?
So, I worked the school orientation with the goal of bribing students with swag to sign up for free tutoring. Like, literally, our college just gives free tutoring. And I'm like, oh, doesn't that cost like hundreds of dollars? Like, nah, it's free. Sign up. So I'm basically like, hey, you want these sunglasses, huh? Get over here. Boom, scan this. You have your tutoring signed up now. You may have these sunglasses. Good day, sir. But it was the funniest thing, because there was me, super high energy, clapping my hands at people, literally be like, hi, I see you're at the orientation, get over here and I'll talk at you. And I was paired with the sweet old librarian. Like, just picture, like, I baked you cookies librarian, and that's who I was paired with. So it must have been, like, the most confusing energy. Because it's like being good cop, bad cop, if one of the good cops is Betty White. Which, for the record, R.I.P. Betty White, fantastic, and that still would have been an amazing buddy cop movie. So between working the orientation, getting all my course schedules out, starting the next semester next week, physically using a ruler on my my author copy of my new book to make sure the spacing was right. Because I got my test copy, it has this nice little not for resale stamp. I may have spent more time than necessary sniffing my book and appreciating it like you do. So between booking and working, that's been my life, and it's been very nice. I tend to spiral downward when I don't have projects on the go.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Besides, I may have spent far too much time today having a lengthy internal monologue about how flying squirrels to deliver notes is hilarious if you're sending the squirrel up high enough so it can psychically communicate at a higher altitude. So you basically send out a high weather balloon that has a little squirrel colony hanging on it to work as a relay station.
They don't fly using their own power. They fly using hot air balloons. They're flying squirrels, though.
Well, they can glide, but you need the hot air balloon plus the gliding to get the distance. You see how this works. You can follow my logic.
It's pretty solid.
And now the mental image has immediately turned to giant ninja kites as we talk ninjas this week. So, this happened a little bit pre-stream, but I'm just going to get right to it. So it turns out that, shockingly, the first ninja series you watched was not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I think the internet deserves this story, including me.
Well, okay, I love my parents. They're very sweet and loving and accepting. They've opened their arms to many people who probably don't deserve it, but they are also somewhat religious. And so when I was younger, we were allowed to watch TV, but pretty much like the Family Channel. That was our main thing we were actually allowed to watch, because they were concerned about influences of things such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because they had these the Buddhist overtones or undertones, probably both.
I mean, I don't even know if Buddhism is applied to Ninja Turtles, because I'm pretty sure it'd be closer to Shinto or something based on the region, but I don't actually know.
Yeah, I suppose maybe they were just being prejudiced. I mean, well, they were definitely just being prejudiced, but I wasn't allowed to watch Ninja Turtles because of the religious undertones that my parents didn't like. I also wasn't allowed to watch like South Park or The Simpsons or things like that.
Which,
so,
to be fair, is probably better for your brain. Like, I said a couple times earlier, and we even got a couple comments for reviewers where I'm like, I could give a full hour-long rant why Family Guy is terrible, and I can give a full hour-long rant about how South Park says it wasn't for children, but was deliberately designed for edgy kids to feel like they're teenagers. It's like you literally specifically designed this to say children can't watch it, wink, under the hopes that children would watch it. They're clearly your target audience.
Well, yeah, because like children were in fact the protagonists of the series. Like, had all of this smart adult humor, but you're following.
No, it
children
didn't have
around.
smart adult humor. It had preteen humor.
Fair enough.
So, but to finish this conversation of what was the first ninja you saw?
What was the first ninja I saw? I mean, that's a tough one. Like, firstly, like how do you even define ninja?
Well, so I was going to go on a weird side tangent for the first ninja series I saw that was actually about ninjas. Statistically, it was probably the Ninja Turtles, but I was trying to bring my brain back far enough. So we didn't actually have Ninja Gaiden for the Super Nintendo, which was the first game system my brain is old enough to accurately remember. So the first ninja probably from a video game would have been from Mortal Kombat, and it would have been Sub-Zero or Scorpion. I vividly recall the Samurai Pizza Cats, but those weren't ninjas. But I'm not sure that the child brain that was me could actually tell the difference. But I think the first use of the word ninja as they attempted to be ninjas is the most whitewashed way imaginable, and it was season 3 of Power Rangers that was ninja themed, with the Ninja Zords and the Ninja Rangers, which is horrifying to learn about a cultural touchstone through dubbed over actors with being replaced by white actors while dubbing over the stunt doubles from overseas and importing it to make a show. There's just something so fundamentally wrong learning anything remotely cultural from Power Rangers.
I mean, that's fair. There's something wrong there. But the Power Rangers were pretty iconic in the West, that's for sure.
Because, season 3 of Power Rangers was ninja-themed, and they had the whole ninja movie. And I think that's where my brain made that very important neuroplastic connection where the neuron for awesome and the neuron for ninjas connected.
Well, I feel like there must have been an old Lego set that had ninjas in it or something. Then that would probably be my first contact with ninjas, or some random movie that my parents were watching. But it's really hard to say because, A, that was a long time ago, so I don't really, specifically remember. And then, B, and like you say, the line between ninjas and samurais and assassins are kind of, blurred.
My brain, I'm, like I said, actively trying to think. First time I saw ninjas. And I'm it must either have been Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers. But then I'm thinking of, more contemporary ones. There was definitely ninjas in Jackie Chan Adventures, for example. There's straight up a ninja mask that summoned ninjas. And they took a moment to explicitly explain, no, the ninja mask is from Japan, and the dragon's from China, and he stole the ninja mask from Japan, and this isn't just us vamping so we can have another season we weren't planning for.
Jackie Chan Adventures.
Jackie Chan Adventures was great. I stand by it.
I mean, I'm sure Jackie Chan doesn't call himself a ninja, and I guess he's not Japanese, so I don't think he ever would. But he has all the skill set of what we would traditionally consider a ninja.
Unlike every character in Naruto who are wizards and are not ninjas. And that's all I'm going to say about Naruto is he had blonde hair, blue eyes, and an orange jumpsuit. That was the least ninja you can possibly be. But I did have Dead or Alive, followed by Ninja Gaiden for Xbox 360. And no. Jumping around, slashing things in ninja is cool, but that's definitely pretty far into my development cycle for that to be a ninja thing.
So, I mean, you recently went through, Dragon Ball, you said. And in the Red Ribbon Army, I believe in the manga they called him Purple.
True.
But in the anime they called him Ninja Murasaki, or maybe it was the other way around. Which one?
But interestingly enough, I went Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and then years later watched all of Dragon Ball. Because they aired Dragon Ball after Dragon Ball Z. And by that point, I was definitely well aware what a ninja was. That might have even been post-Season 1 Naruto by the time I got to Dragon Ball.
I mean, that's true. But I'm more so wondering, Ninja Murasaki, would you say he's actually genuinely ninja? He used
100%. 100% I would give that title to Ninja Murasaki. He's called Ninja Murasaki. It's one of those things where, if you just declare someone a ninja, and someone's like, well, he's not really a ninja because he doesn't do this and that. His name is Ninja Murasaki. He's in a ninja outfit doing ninja things. I'm sorry, for all intents and purposes, he's a ninja. It's like when people say that Gandalf, by D&D definitions, is a sorcerer. I'm like, yes, but when you mentally picture wizard, you're picturing either Gandalf or Dumbledore. And I hate to break this to you, if you're picturing sorcerer, you're picturing Doctor Strange, who'd probably be a wizard.
Speaking of what you picture when you see a ninja, the ninja outfit, is there actually more to being a ninja than just being an athletic martial artist that wears the ninja outfit?
Nope.
As an example, Bad Guys, the relatively recent Pixar movie, I believe it was Pixar. Anyways, it was a far more complex children's movie than I thought it would be, and it was actually quite an interesting movie. But one of the characters was revealed to be this like master thief who jumps around, beats people up with acrobatics and martial arts, and wears a ninja outfit so nobody can see their identity. But they wouldn't self-identify as a ninja.
Well, here's the thing about ninjas. So ninjas are one of those history figments that no longer are actually what they were. So sometimes pop culture will take a historical idea and just disconnect it. So in pop culture, if you're wearing a blackish martial arts gi, have a face mask and a katana and jump from the roof, you're a ninja. If you're to actually go read about Hanzaro Hattori, he's not throwing shurikens. That's not in there. He's not breathing fire and going ninja art fire style jutsu. This is people who are like, I made Ninja Gaiden for SNES. I watched the movie Ninja Scroll, and then I thought that was cool. I grew up, and then I made ninjas. So for me, to be a ninja, you're literally just calling yourself a ninja, because it's such a trope now. It's kind of like how a knight didn't wear plate mail and didn't use a sword. Those are just not knight things. Knights used a lance, were on horseback, and had whatever armor they could get their hands on. Also, knights didn't really exist. There wasn't like a order of chivalrous knights. That's not how that went down. It was just different nations had different warriors. The people who were knighted were far less likely to be on the battlefield because they were nobility. So they weren't actually at the front lines fighting, but they sure photoshopped those history textbooks.
Okay, but so then the essence of what you're saying is that by modern standards, to be a ninja, you just have to be acrobatic and wear a ninja outfit.
No, you have to be a ninja. You say the word ninja. That's it.
So,
that is the entire
then
definition, is you have declared yourself a ninja, and now you are one.
So then the character from Bad Guys who acts and looks like a ninja would probably not be a ninja because they don't self-identify as one.
Correct. They're just an assassin then. Now the Foot Clan are specifically ninjas.
More like a master thief. That's kind of the whole point of the movie is the heists.
Yeah. So that's when we get to Naruto and be like, these aren't ninjas, but everyone pictures them as ninjas now because they just declared themselves ninjas. And it's like, if someone doesn't declare themselves a ninja, that means they're not associating to the stack of Japanese tropes that make a ninja. It's like Batman, the only difference between Batman being a ninja and not a ninja, considering he was trained by ninjas and does ninja things, is if he declares himself a ninja that day.
Well, I mean, Batman Ninja decided that he was a ninja.
Yeah, but in that one, he was in fact a ninja because he declared himself a ninja. And also, that movie was worse than I wanted it to be. Batman vs. Ninja Turtles was a much better ninja movie.
Oh, Batman vs. Ninja Turtles was a great ninja movie.
And just a little side note, the fact that Shredder just straight up beat up Batman, I love that. It's like, yeah, no, Batman's not as good as the enemy that takes on all 4 Ninja Turtles at once. Get your life in order. Now, the most ninja story is definitely Basilisk, though. When we're going to, like, a thing that's actually trying to be, I'm not going to say historically accurate, but more take the fables of the time and bring them to life. Much like how...
I was actually going to ask you if you had seen Basilisk.
Oh, yeah, Basilisk is fantastic. 10 out of 10, recommend.
I just thought it was kind of weird because their definition of ninja was, like, incestuous superpower people.
Yeah, that's probably closer to the actual definition. Seriously. That's the thing, is like, we had Ryo Hasaba and Ninja Gaiden, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, that's cool, these are what ninjas are. And then if you actually go back and read the lit, it's probably closer to incest breeding for magic eyes. Because that keeps showing up in my ninja things, and I'm sure it came from somewhere, where there's some fantasy story that's probably fiction, or fictionalized history. It's kind of like how the Dynasty Warriors franchise based on Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Most people over here will be like, oh yeah, that's Chinese history. No, it wasn't. That was Chinese fiction. There was no Guan Yu. It was a story that was old. It has as much credibility as King Arthur. Which has zero credibility.
Fair enough. Zero credibility.
There was no King
Especially
Arthur.
if you're talking about the Fate Stay Night King Arthur.
That is more likely than the actual one. I'm more likely to believe that King Arthur's story is so fragmented because it was actually a character in drag. I'm like, you know what? Sure. That's as believable as the rest of it. Does not hurt my suspension of disbelief that sexist historians wrote down that it was male because I don't want to confess that they got beat up by female. That happens all the time in history, actually. It's a very big problem.
Are there any ninjas in Fate Stay Night? Any
Probably.
actual ninjas?
None of the... Weirdly, they had a samurai that made it in. Somehow a ninja didn't make it into the first one, but they had a literal assassin. As in, the word assassin was named after one dude who was an assassin. So technically when you summon an assassin, you would summon that dude. It's a whole thing.
Huh.
Although I never can tell in Fate Stay Night. Like, Fate Stay Night weaves in exactly enough history and mythology to mess with my remembering of actual facts for tests.
Okay, so, but like a super skilled assassin who in fact wears a ninja outfit would not necessarily be a ninja. Like say the guy that like in the one James Bond movie where he's like above the person that's sleeping and he drips the poison down the string so it falls in the person's mouth.
I mean, that's awesome. But no, unless someone calls him a ninja or he calls himself a ninja, he's not a ninja. You know, because being a ninja
fair.
is cultural appropriation unless you are actually, in fact, a ninja.
Or if you actually study ninjutsu.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
No, not even a little bit.
No,
Ninjutsu is literally just a hand-to-hand martial art that has nothing to do with ninjas.
Huh.
At all.
Wait, does ninjutsu actually translate to ninja magic, though?
Yes. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a lit major. Wait, yes I am.
Well, I mean, you're not a Eastern lit major, that's for sure. But
Yet.
now I'm curious.
If I had a class that said History of Ninjas I could take, of course I would take it. But, yep.
Jutsu translate to ninja magic.
I don't know. Also, I don't think Ninja Scroll aged particularly well on the topic of things that were cool to watch.
Ninja Scroll? I'm not...
So I googled the top anime ninjas, and Hinamura and Kenshin's in second place. Which,
Kenshin?
he was not a ninja, by definition. He was very clearly a samurai.
Yeah.
His name is Ryonin Kenshin. Ryonin was literally wandering samurai. And Kenshin Sword God. He was wandering sword guy. That was his name.
Kenshin is definitely not a ninja. But, I mean, then again, it's like so many characters just, like, fit a lot of the trope characteristics of ninjas.
But are definitely not ninjas.
Like maybe like the butler from Mr. Deeds. He's, like, super, super stealthy. We never see him do any martial arts or anything, but, like...
First off, Ninja Butler is such a trope. Like, every butler, I assume, is a ninja. Or at least, like, a Muay Thai expert or something. Butlers just beat you up. It's a trope, and I love that trope. Like, I really want... If I were to play a long D&D campaign with you, my character would specifically be your character's butler. Because the roleplay potential there is just so amazing.
Of the ninja butler?
Right? Like, I'd probably make him a monk, and then he'd use a cane as a monk weapon, and just be like, shall I remove the trash, sir? And then just fist of the death punch, 5-finger death explosion, and then explode.
Oh, man. Monks do have one of the coolest high-level abilities.
I mean, for all that level 17 D&D we've played.
I've never gotten there.
5 years of D&D.
That is when you... level 17 or higher, that's when you truly become a ninja, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Also, there were, in fact, ninjas in Ryonin Kenshin who declared themselves ninjas and were, in fact, ninjas. Just Kenshin was not one of them.
So, ninja stars, or shuriken as they're more properly known, like...
I also feel like shuriken may not have existed. Like, I feel like we made ninja stars, but there was never actually ninja stars.
Huh. I suppose that might be true. But then what about, like kunai? Because that's definitely a real weapon.
Let's find
Do
out.
you think that's a ninja weapon?
I'm seeing if kunai were a real thing. I literally just googled, were kunai a real thing? Yeah, they were a garden tool you threw at people.
Ah, yeah, okay, kind of like a scythe. where it's like it was better than nothing, and then eventually they made battle sites because people were just crazy. But...
Well, the thing is, actual ninjas, if we're going Deadliest Warrior as a source, which is the best source I got somehow, were basically farmers who would dress up at night to murder rich people. And most ninja weapons are whatever they could find. So, like, they didn't have katanas. They had, like, knives and gardening tools and filling eggs with glass and throwing it in their face.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, Ninja Turtle tools is pretty appropriate because they were, like, caltrops or basically whatever sharp objects they could find to throw behind themselves.
Oh, yeah. If they had the ability to build pipe bombs, they would have.
So ninjas were ancient terrorists.
Yeah. Disclaimer, I do not believe ninjas were ancient terrorists.
Well, I mean, it kind of sounds like that's the original definition.
I'm citing Deadliest Warriors here, so...
Yeah, okay, I guess that's fair. And I mean, there is something to be said about people who will stand up against oppressive regimes, like...
Also, like...
From the perspective of the regime, they are terrorists, but from the perspective of someone who's outside, they might be more sympathetic,
Also, I'm pretty sure ninja's not even the word for ninja, because there's that cool word shinobi going around. And if someone had to ask me what the difference between a ninja and a shinobi was, I'd just say look at distraction and run away. Possibly throw glass in their eye.
That is a good question, what the difference between a shinobi and a ninja is. Ninja probably is just the North American term for shinobi. But probably. I guess power over the internet, we could just look it up. Although, the internet isn't always to be believed.
Because, yeah, no idea what the difference between ninja and shinobi is. If you type in ninja, it gives you shinobi, and if you type in shinobi, it gives you ninja, so shrug.
Well, I mean, like, the difference between Shinobi and Ninja is that Shinobi is the movie and Kogan Ninja Scrolls is the book.
That's about right. So, I think we reached the original point of a ninja is literally then if you stick the ninja label on something. Because if you just describe the skill set, outfit, and style as a ninja, then basically everything turns into a ninja.
Especially Batman. But not butlers.
Alfred would be a ninja.
Alfred would be a ninja if he dressed like one.
Samurai Jack was a ninja one episode, specifically.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, there was a ninja that was fighting him, so then he put on an inverted ninja outfit where he dressed in all white and stood in the glare while the ninja stood in the all dark. I'm like, man, that was beautifully animated.
Yeah, I remember seeing that episode. That episode was pretty sick.
I mean, Samurai Jack, I stand up for, even though the last season, I don't know if they stuck the landing, but it tried some really interesting things. It's like, yeah, you went out there. You definitely didn't play it safe with that show.
Well, I mean, I would say they stuck the landing right up to the time travel because, as mentioned, time travel is just one of the worst endings.
Oh, yeah.
Which is ironic because the show was all about time travel.
Although, on a side note, me and my boss were talking Steins Gate at our work dinner the other day, which was a fun thing to learn about somebody.
Steins Gate? Steins Gate is how you do time travel right.
Which is so shocking. Like, you go into that and be like, oh, this is anime harem trash. You're like, no, this is a well-crafted time travel story. Huh. Did not expect that from the intro. I really thought this was going to be trash entertainment that I enjoyed while eating pizza.
Well, so coming full circle back to the Ninja Turtles, it may be the first symbol of ninjas that we saw because we were born in the 90s. But it is kind of interesting that it's like the cultural icons that they built it on. They're just like, kids love turtles, kids love pizza, kids love ninjas.
Oh, that is not what happened.
Ninja Turtles.
So I was prepared to give this Ninja Turtle rant if we went that direction. What happened was Marvel Comics fired 2 artists because their work was too violent. Wow. So they took the exact premise of Daredevil, the opening scene, including the same barrel of chemicals, made them turtles instead. They fight the Foot Clan, which in Daredevil was the hand. Their master is Splinter, in Daredevil it was Stick. And then they made their hyper-violent turtle comics because they weren't allowed to do it in Marvel Comics. Huh. And on a different note, I have a list of the top 10 fictional ninjas.
Ooh.
So first,
How many of them are actually ninjas?
From my glance, 2.
Okay.
So
what's
first,
number 1?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Obviously.
I'm going to let them have it. They literally had a ninjutsu master from Japan teach them ninja. However, the most recent live-action movie where he learned it from watching TV for some reason ruined everything. In second place, we have Ryu Hasaba from Ninja Gaiden, who is a ninja from the Ninja video game from the NES that's proceeded to be a ninja for the last 30 years.
He is definitely a ninja.
Next, we have Grey Fox / Cyborg Ninja from Metal Gear Solid. I don't even know if I want to give it to him, but ninja's in the title.
And ninja isn't. He definitely self-identifies as a ninja.
Next, we have Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. Is in no way, shape, or form a ninja. He just wears.
He has the ninja outfit. And he does martial arts, and he
It's
uses
blue.
some ninja type. Okay, so he's a Naruto ninja. He's more of a wizard.
Yeah, like his D&D class for sure is Sorcerer or Warlock. Right? Like he's like a Frost Sorcerer. If they straight up put out a Frost Sorcerer subclass, that's what I would make him.
Okay, so who's next on the list?
Ayan from Dead or Alive, which is the ninja girl from that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Next, we have Lady Shiva from DC Comics, which I'm like, how is you on the list? I feel like DC Comics has to have a higher-up ninja than that. Like Ra's al Ghul or something. I don't know.
See, Ra's al Ghul is just an assassin.
And Lady Shiva's a ninja, even though she's literally his lieutenant. And you know what? It's fine. Next, we have a character named Scott James from the Octagon. I have no idea who that is.
Scott James from the Octagon.
Got nothing on that one. And then last, we have a character named Haru from Beverly Hills Ninja.
Well, I mean, Beverly Hills Ninja, it kind of belittles the dedication to determination and it takes to actually become a ninja, but they did actually learn from like real ninja mentors in the movie, I'm pretty sure.
And then we have Elektra from Marvel Comics.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know if she's really a ninja, but she's definitely very ninja-like.
And then Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe, which is definitely what America assumes a ninja is.
Snake Eyes.
Sha-sha. I'm like, yeah, no, I'll give that one. You literally are like, what would be a cool action figure of a ninja? Cool. We'll make the action figure first, then write the story. So feel free to comment your favorite ninjas in the video comments, and feel free to submit your random questions of the week for your chance to win the digital deluxe edition of the Waltz of Blades. Yeah, maybe we get some action. If some people are showing it, we might start putting some merchandise from the Waltz of Blade merch shop up for contest grabs. We'll see if there's the interest. But for now, the last winner from their random question of the week is, correct me if I read this one last week, I can't remember, but I don't think I did. If you're offered the position of mayor of your city, would you take it?
We've definitely had that one before.
All right, so on to the next question on the list. My bad. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo. Boop. What would you do if you were the lone survivor of a plane crash? Damn, internet, damn.
The lone survivor of a plane crash. Well, okay, I mean, like this is a very situational question, because if you're the lone survivor of a plane crash in like the middle of the ocean, that's a completely different situation from being the lone survivor of a plane crash in the mountains versus being the lone survivor of the plane crash on the tarmac of the airport.
So let's say, for the sake of where plane crashes go, let's go with the island from Lost.
What would I do if I was a lone survivor of a plane crash?
Because, yeah, when people have that mental image of plane crash, I'm going to go with, you're on a random tropical island, possibly with a smoke monster.
Possibly with a smoke monster. Well, I mean, my first instinct is to say that I would stay on the beach where it's like we're more likely to be seen and found and stuff, but I don't know. I think I might go like full Castaway, like Tom Hanks. Make a face on a volleyball. That's my buddy.
I enjoy that your first instinct when you plane crash is to spiral. into madness. Because I'm like, okay, so first I need to figure out food, water, shelter, how much the plane is left. I don't think planes just explode, so I'm feeling like I need to like put out this plane so I have as much plane left as possible. Because the plane part is useful. Like,
well, okay. I mean, obviously, you gotta like search for survivors and verify.
oh
that
no,
you
I know
are,
I'm the
in
lone
fact,
survivor. I know who I am. Yeah, no, I'm the lone survivor. Everyone else, if they survive, figure it out. I'm taking resources, man. I need food, water, shelter, radio. Like, once I've successfully gutted this plane for my immediate survival, including be like, okay, well, these guys, their dead bodies have clothes on them. I can turn that into a blanket and build myself a pillow fort on top of the plane. It's fine.
A pillow fort.
And once I've looted this plane for all it's worth, I am good to go. But yeah, if I'm the lone survivor, I'm not even like pretending to be sad about it. I'm like, well, this has happened. This seems like a Tuesday with my luck. Let's start surviving. Honestly, I feel like my life would be slightly better than my movie theater days, but slightly worse than my student days. But yeah, the weird thing I would do, I've never seen done in a movie, is I tried to put out the fire on the plane because it's full of good stuff.
That is true.
They just always like let the plane explode. And I'm like, no, there's fire extinguishers. I'm stopping my plane from exploding because that is food, water, and shelter. Even if
that is true.
I might have to get all my liquid from Diet Seltzer. Ugh. But it's better than dying of thirst. Like, even the drink cart on an airplane no one's went for. I'm like, that from one person, if there was enough for each person on a flight of 200 people to have a drink, it's like a month's worth of water.
Yeah.
Also, if I put out the fire, I have a working toilet. Kind of. Like, for one person to fill up a plane septic tank would take a while.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It sounds like you're much more methodical than me. I honestly feel like I don't have very many survival skills, so I like to say that I do all these things that it's, oh, you know, it's smart. You do this smart stuff, and it's like, I would panic. I would almost definitely panic.
That's my thing. I would try and save my goddamn plane. No one's ever done that before. I'm like, but the plane is so useful. Like, if the plane has a Wi-Fi booster on it, who knows? Maybe I can look up how to fix a plane and just leave. Might take me a while, but I'm not crying into a volleyball.
You'll just find a WikiHow on how to fix a plane and fly off the island.
Or at least fix the radio, step one. I don't know why, but in my brain I feel like I could somehow use the jet engine propeller to make some kind of generator to charge my phone with it. Like, I got copper wire and magnets. I'm sure I can work out something if I have infinite time. So, that's my answer. And your answer is descend to madness immediately.
Oh yeah,
immediately. Like, you look through the plane's wreckage, see it's still burning, find your volleyball, leave, paint your face on your volleyball, and start soliloquizing to the sunset.
Well, I mean, maybe there would be a small child that had like a stuffed animal or something.
Only survive. Oh, right, you're taking their stuffed animal. Never mind. I thought you were about to save a child like a fool. Each person you save is one less bag of peanuts to survive on.
Awful but true.
So, thank you for submitting this incredibly morbid question, and enjoy your digital deluxe edition of The Waltz of Blades. Works on Kindles, phones, ebook readers. So, if you get a waterproof phone case, just saying, you can read my book in the bath. I won't judge. And with that...
Or even underwater. Ooh, I had a phone that could do that once, although it was really hard to touch the screen because, you know, electricity doesn't work as intended underwater.
And with that, thank you everybody for tuning in. At some point we'll have streams going again. Keep tuned. Follow us on the social medias. I am just rambling at this point. I'm going to end this before I ramble our episode into being banned.
Bye!
Bye! Watch out for Praying Clash Ninjas!